In this question, you have to point out the option which is not included under ex situ conservation. Now, ex situ conservation involves the conservation of species outside their natural habitats, where organisms are maintained and bred in controlled environments. And this approach is used to protect endangered species, the conserve genetic material, and support the survival of species away from their original location. Now coming to the option A, wildlife safari parks. Now this is included in ex situ conservation because wildlife safari parks are controlled environments where animals are kept outside their natural habitats for conservation or education or even for tourism. So this is incorrect option. Option B, sacred groves. Now sacred groves are protected natural areas found within their original habitats, and these groups are conserved in their natural environment due to religious or cultural significance, thus making it an in situ conservation method. Hence, this is the correct option. Option C, seed banks. This is also included under ex situ conservation because seed banks store seed under controlled condition to preserve the genetic material of plants outside their natural habitat. Hence, it is incorrect option. Option D, botanical gardens. It is also included under ex situ conservation because botanical gardens cultivate and preserve plant species outside their natural habitat. Hence, this is incorrect option. In a growing population of a country, option A, pre-reproductive individuals are more than the reproductive individuals. Now, in a growing population, there are generally more pre-reproductive individuals than reproductive age individuals. And this creates a population momentum where a large number of young people will soon enter the reproductive age, further increasing the birth rate and thus supporting population growth. Hence, this is the correct option. Option B, reproductive individuals are less than the post-reproductive individuals. Now, this is incorrect because in a growing population, there are usually more reproductive age individuals than post-reproductive age individuals. Because a population with most post-reproductive individuals is likely to be stable or declining rather than growing. Option C, pre-reproductive individuals are less than the reproductive individuals. It is incorrect because in a growing population, the number of pre-reproductive individuals must exceed the number of reproductive individuals. Option D, reproductive and pre-reproductive individuals are equal in number. It is also incorrect because in a growing population, the number of pre-reproductive individuals is usually higher than the number of reproductive individuals, because equality in these groups would indicate a stable population rather than a growing population. In this question, you have to identify which type of population interactions is widely used in medical science for the production of antibiotics. Option A, commensalism. It is incorrect because commensalism is an interaction where one organism benefits while the other is neither harmed nor benefited, but it does not lead to the concept of antibiotic production. Option B, mutualism. This is also incorrect because mutualism is a type of species interaction with both organisms benefit, such as in nitrogen fixing bacteria in a plant root. But this does not directly involve in the concept of antibiotic production. Option C, amensalism. Now in amensalism, one organism is inhibited or destroyed while the other remains unaffected. Antibiotics that are produced by certain microorganisms like fungi or bacteria to inhibit or kill the competing microorganisms. So, this interaction is an example of amensalism, and this is widely utilized in medical science for antibiotic production. Thus, it is the correct option. Option D, parasitism. This is also incorrect because parasitism is an interaction where one organism, the parasite, benefits at the expense of the host, but it is not related to the concept of antibiotic production. In this question, you have to match the items given under column 1 with that of column 2. Now, eutrophication is the process of nutrient enrichment in water bodies leading to excessive growth of algae and aquatic plants. Thus, A matches with 3. Now, sanitary landfill is a method of waste disposal where garbage is buried and managed to reduce pollution. Thus, B matches with 4. Snow blindness is a very painful condition caused by exposure to ultraviolet B radiation reflected from the snow. Thus, C matches with 1. And jhum cultivation, also known as slash and burn agriculture, involves clearing forests resulting in deforestation. Thus, D matches with 2. Hence, the correct answer is option D. In this question, you have to identify the correct definition of niche. Option A, all the biological factors in the organism's environment. It is incorrect because this refers to the biotic components of an ecosystem and not the niche. Option B, the physical space where an organism lives. This is also incorrect because this refers to the habitat of an organism, which is a part of its niche, but it does not define it fully. Option C, the functional role played by the organism where it lives. Now, a niche is indeed the functional role and position of an organism in its environment, including its interaction with abiotic and biotic factors. Hence, it is the correct option. Option D, the range of temperature that the organism needs to live. It is also incorrect because this describes a specific abiotic factor but does not encompass the broader concept of niche. In this question, you have to identify the element that acts as a catalyst in the degradation of ozone and release of molecular oxygen in the stratosphere. Option A, carbon. It is incorrect because carbon does not play a catalytic role in the degradation of ozone in the stratosphere because it is not that reactive. Option B, chlorine. Now, chlorine atoms which is mainly released from chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs, act as a catalyst in the degradation of ozone because a single chlorine atom can destroy thousands of ozone molecules in the stratosphere through a series of reactions which involve, say, chlorine plus ozone gives rise to hypochlorite and oxygen. And this hypochlorite again reacts with atomic oxygen to give rise to chlorine and oxygen. So this is the correct option. Option C, oxygen. It is incorrect because oxygen itself is not the catalyst but a reactant in the formation and breakdown of ozone. It participates in the natural ozone-oxygen cycling without causing any degradation. Option D, iron. It is also incorrect because iron does not play any role in the catalytic degradation of ozone in the stratosphere. In this question, data is given from which you have to identify the type of ecological pyramid. Now it is given that the primary producers has 10 gram of biomass, that is, it has the least biomass. Primary consumer has 60 gram, which has higher biomass than the producers. And secondary consumers have 120 gram, that is having the highest biomass. So this indicates that the biomass increases as we move up in the trophic levels. Now, which is the characteristic of an inverted pyramid of biomass? Hence, the correct answer is option A. In this question, you have to identify a secondary pollutant. Now, ozone is the secondary pollutant from the given options because it is not directly emitted into the atmosphere, but it is formed through chemical reactions involving primary pollutants and sunlight. Now, primary pollutants like, nitrogen oxides, then volatile organic compounds are released from sources such as vehicle exhaust, industrial emissions, and fossil fuel combustion. And in the presence of sunlight, these react to form ozone through photochemical reactions such as NO2 gives rise to NO plus O, and this O, that is atomic oxygen plus molecular oxygen, gives rise to ozone. Hence, this is the correct option. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide are incorrect because all these are primary pollutants. In this question, you have to point out on which day World Ozone Day is celebrated. Now, World Ozone Day is celebrated on 16th September each year. And this day raises the awareness about the importance of ozone layer and the efforts that is needed to protect it. So each year, this World Ozone Day has a specific theme focusing on the ozone protection as well as environmental sustainability. Hence, the correct answer is option D. In this question, you have to choose the option that correctly represents the meaning of natality. Option A, death rate. It is incorrect because it refers to mortality, that is, the number of deaths per unit time in the population. Option B, birth rate. Now, natality refers to birth rate, that is, the number of live births per unit time in the population. Hence, it is the correct option. Option C, number of individuals entering a habitat. It is incorrect because this refers to immigration and not natality. Option D, number of individuals leaving the habitat. This is also incorrect because this refers to emigration, which is unrelated to natality.